Welcome to the Gearbox podcast, where we dive deep into the dynamic world of automotive repair and ownership. I'm your host, Jimmy Purdy, an experienced technician turned shop owner with a passion for sharing insights, stories, and conversations with industry leaders. This is the Gearbox podcast. We don't talk about just cars.
Yeah.
We just if you're in the industry, we just converse.
Do you still get full nerdy about cars though?
Full nerd?
Full nerd.
I don't think I've ever been that way.
Oh, never.
No.
But you were a tech at one point.
I was a tech, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still am. I mean,
So
I don't think once you are, you always are, right?
once a tech, always a tech.
Once a tech, always a tech.
Did you kind of know from the beginning though that there was something more? Like, did you know you wanted to be an owner from the beginning?
No.
Who got you? How did the idea get in your head?
Damn, that's a great question.
I'm sorry, I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I'm thinking deep now. It's funny because you start thinking about it, and then you wonder how you got there, and was that a good idea? Was it a bad idea? Should I just found a shop that would have appreciated me, and I could have mastered my skill even further? And where would I be? I wouldn't change anything. I've learned so much, and being a technician is all about learning, right? That's the pull of getting into a vehicle and fixing it, diagnosing it is it's the learning process, right? During it, it's frustrating. It's annoying. It's terrible. But when you figure it out, that high you don't get from anything else. And you did it with your bare hands in your own mind, right?
100%. I was talking about it outside of the realm of your bare hands. So I'm not a developer, but my brother is a developer.
Okay.
In college, I took one development class. There is no better feeling than, because coding, you're working on something, you're coding, it has errors and bugs, and then all of a sudden it works. And that moment when it happens, it's like starting an engine. You know that feeling where you do a ton of work on an engine, you're about to start it, and you're like, is this going to work? There's nothing that beats that feeling.
Right. And it sucks when you get it wrong.
Yeah.
But it makes you work that much harder to get it right the next time.
And it feels that much better when you get it right.
So on that path is becoming tech to owner. You just assume if you fix cars really, really well and you do a really good job, you're going to be really, really successful, and you realize that was wrong. And so you start implementing procedures. You start learning how to be a shop owner. You start learning how to manage people. You start learning how the process of the vehicle coming through the shop is more important than actually fixing it. And then you start learning how to do that better. Then you start seeing people leave 5-star reviews, right? Then you start seeing people come back. You start talking about you in the community, and you're like, wow, I did something pretty special here. And it's got nothing to do with actually fixing cars. So I guess back to the question, I wouldn't change the path, and it never really was I'm going to be a shop owner and not touch cars, right? Because I still get frustrated, and I want to go fix something. And I can't. In business, nothing can be fixed overnight. In marketing, nothing can be fixed overnight. Right? And the only thing you can fix overnight is a car. And it's You need that immediate self-satisfaction to get yourself out of your funk, right? And that's one of the big issues I have is getting out of that pattern of getting frustrated. I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to go out and see what the guys are doing, go help them with what they're diagnosing, what they're fixing, and then I'll feel better. And I'm doing it for me instead of doing it for the business. And learning that is so insightful into my own psyche. It's like psychology 101, right? It's and I needed that so much more than I ever realized. So
you need those tasks that listen, obviously I have to grow the business, I have to focus on these bigger long-term things, but you need those tasks that you can go back to, that you're still doing work, but it grounds you. It's something focused, something you can achieve quickly. Right. I have my tasks, my weekend tasks. I'm still working on the weekend, but they're tasks that I can actually complete those days. They're quick. Usually processes change. I can change a process in a day. I can implement it with the team on Monday, and it's something quick.
Yeah.
But long term, whether it's partnerships or anything, that stuff takes a long time to feel out.
I can't remember his name, but the old USMC motto of make your bed, right? Or Navy SEAL things, just make your bed. Yeah. Every day make your bed, because that one small task that projects you and propels you to go for it. And it's just making my bed. Yeah, but you just accomplished something. and we all need it, like,
Yeah.
right? And you gotta pick your battles. You gotta pick what exactly it is you want to dedicate your time to, and that's hard. It's hard when you don't know what your vision is, and like being a technician, and you're like, I'm not being paid enough. This industry is not where it should be. I'm gonna do it myself because I think I can do it better. But not even knowing what that better is kind of like where I came from, right? So it's like involving like here we are, Mars 2024, and like involved in the institute and like a coaching program and like learning new programs and new systems and meeting people at these events with these new processes. Like, how do I implement this to make my shop the next level? And constantly trying to strive for that, I don't know, that greatness, right? Or like that top, you're going to be, you're going to be the leading edge. You're never going to be on the top, but you're going to be on the leading edge. And that's what's important, right? That's what the Institute's taught me too, is like, if you're constantly striving to the top, even if you don't know what that top is, you're still reaching for it. Like, that's what makes you top tier, you know?
The key is that you're reaching for it and you're trying. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Man in the Arena speech?
No.
It's a speech by Theodore Roosevelt. And it basically just says there's nothing worse in life than not knowing failure or not knowing success. The worst thing in life is not knowing. It's not actually trying. And that's what people at Mars, that's what people in the Institute are doing, is saying, I'm actually the one in the arena. I'm going to actually take on the responsibility. And yeah, I think as a small business owner, I think it's there's no better feeling, but there's no worse feeling than when you're responsible for all the stuff that goes wrong and when your tech ruins a car and pisses off a customer. But yeah, being in the arena and going for it is key. And then yeah, you always have to know that there's people chasing you down. One thing I've been intrigued with getting into this industry in the last year is the nature in which shops are competitive, because I've met shop owners who are super competitive against the shops in their area, and then I've met shop owners that are not super competitive against the shops in their area. Do you get competitive with the shops in your area?
I don't have competition. I am the competition.
No. No, I've heard it.
I love that speech, but I don't really stand behind it. No, I work really, really hard to build alliances with everyone that's close to me, outside of me, everywhere, right? We're dealing with a Napa BDG group that we're putting together right now locally, or we're trying to get one established. And that's one of the big things is like a lot of the other shop owners, and it's especially when you're not doing how well you want to be doing. That's when you start seeing everybody as competition, because that's the easy thing to point the finger at, right? I'm not doing well, and it's because I got to compete with you, right? It's easy. It's the easiest finger you can point. And it's like, but you start realizing as shops become more successful, they start collaborating with other shops around them, right? It flips 180, and it blows my mind. Like, but at the same time, it's understandable because you're frustrated. You don't know why you're doing well. And so the only thing you can point your finger at is that the guy's taking all your business, right? Because you see how successful, or maybe he's not. Like, you don't know. You just see cars in his bay. There's no cars in your bay, and that's where the problem is, right? Like, it's like the easiest thing to mentally think of, right?
It's a quick fix to say.
Yeah, and
instead of fixing my marketing for the next 6 months, let's just point the finger.
Or even knowing what's going on over there, like. Maybe he needs help as much as you. Like, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're successful, right? Doesn't mean you're being profitable. So
it's the first time hearing about this whole idea of pointing maybe cheaper customers to shops in your area.
Yeah.
Is that does everyone subscribe to this mantra?
I've bought into it and then pretty quickly don't fully agree with it. There's an ass for every seat, and I say that as there are some shops that are just an ass that don't want to jump on board, that want that resentment towards you, no matter how nice you are, no matter what I send them, no matter what we do, and I get it. But I still don't think that's the correct thing to do. I don't think, like, it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy. Like, it's just not right. Like, and sure, I have clients that call in, or customers that call in that are looking for a service that we don't offer, meaning they don't want our inspection. They just want bringing their parts, have us do it at a discounted rate. Like, right. Like, and short of saying bottom feeders. And I hate that too. Like, it's not, because you don't know their situation. You don't know what these people are going through. So I don't like to classify them like that, but sure. It's like, I know the shops in the area that are going to give them what they're looking for. I can't afford to do that. Like, I just can't. And I'm not going to if I did it myself, I got no problem, but I cannot have my technicians do it because I got to make sure they're paid and they can take care of their families. If I have the time to do it, I'll step out, I'll check it out for them, whatever. Lately, I haven't had that kind of time, and that irks me a little bit because I want to give back to community, but I really have to constantly look at the bigger picture here. Like, if I want to have a successful business in my community and be able to pay the technicians in my community to live well, I have to charge, right? And I can't let the customers dictate the way my business is ran. And I have, I don't know it all. I come to these events. I try to stay on top of the knowledge. I try to stay at the leading edge. I try to make sure that everything I'm doing, it has a purpose, and I'm not just like pulling these numbers out of my ass, right? Like, I'm not just I'm just not charging this number, like throwing a dart at the board and say, all right, today labor rate's $300 an hour, right? Like so there's justification behind it, and so it allows me the confidence to say, I can't provide that service for you. There's a shop that can, and I've been working really hard to get them to stop doing what they're doing, but they want to keep doing their own thing. So if that's the customer base they want, I'll send them that way. So I do it, but I don't know, using the connotation of like how
you're not going to send it. Yeah, once again, if a shop is already working with clientele and they want to work with that clientele, yeah, go check out that. But I think you're saying you're not going to put it all on your buddy's shop.
I'm not just in the honors of like doing it in a negative connotation, right? Like, oh, I'm going to screw this guy and put him out of business by like, I don't know. And there's guys that do that. I don't know if I'm not there yet or like, but I don't know.
Someday, once you open your 8th shop, you're going to be like, oh, I put everyone out of business.
I don't know. Like, I mean, but it drove the point home, right? Like in the presentation, it drove the point home of like, that's what will happen. Like, if you don't get your stuff together and like figure it out, you're going to overwhelm yourself and put yourself out of business.
Yeah, and obviously I think Cecil has the intention is good, and the intention is, if I let customers who are cheaper come into my business, we're going to go out of business, and I'm not going to be able to feed any techs and support my community. I'm not going to be able to do repairs for anybody because your business can't survive on that.
Right.
And so, the idea is you need to say no and know when to probably pass on a customer.
Yeah, I mean,
what you do with that.
There's a warranty process. There's the paying for the newest, latest, greatest services, having, whatever software program that you want, right, in your shop. Like, you got to be able to afford that stuff to provide that customer experience, to provide the warranty that sits on the back side of your part replacement. And if you're not charging what you should be charging, you can't have any of that. And, everyone thinks profit's a bad word, and it's not, know. And that's what you do with it. But there's, obviously shops out there that take that and run with it and then don't use it like they should be.
Yeah.
So,
being that we're at Mars, any speakers that you liked in particular?
Oh, everybody's got a place in my heart.
Everyone's got a good spot.
That's the political answer, right?
That's the politically correct.
Well, obviously, coming to the headquarters is big for me. I've never been here before, and being a coaching client, right, for the Institute, it's pretty cool to see.
The Institute has a beautiful office here.
It's very nice, yes.
It's very nice. But yeah, no, we have to play politically correct with everyone too. Being that, because we probably work with, at Auto Ops, we work with 60 plus marketing companies, probably over the 1,000-ish shops. And so, yeah, we play nice with everyone. I mean, the nice part about what we do is, and that's kind of why it's fun for me coming to these events, is that whatever marketing company you use, whatever CRM company you use, whatever shop management system you use, we play nice with everyone.
There's no like direct competition.
No, there's no other company that's on our Auto Ops on Facebook. Our name is still Auto Ops Online Scheduling. But yes, there's no other company that focuses just on online scheduling for auto repair shops. I mean, people thought I was, a year ago, everyone thought I was out of my mind. They were like, you will not be able to build a company on just scheduling. And I was like, well, me and my brother are bored, so I'm going to try.
That's fantastic. That's a great pivoting point.
Yeah. The actual starting point was I went out to prove that there was already good online. My brother and father was like, oh, we should do online scheduling for auto shops. And I was like, no, there's got to be a company that does this super well. And then I slowly found out there wasn't really.
No, not as elegantly as you've displayed.
We tried. But yeah, it's what everyone talks about here. I was at a different coaching company last week, and everyone's talking about make it easier for customers to do business with you.
Right.
Make it easy. Make an experience you like. Once again, if this was the 1980s and everyone called your shop, great. But sadly, time moves on. do you want to engage with your customers how they want to engage with you and every other service they provide in their life, or do you want to sit there and you can stick to what you're doing, and customers will stick to what they want to do, and that might not be coming to your shop anymore.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And I mean, on the topic of marketing, like you can have all the marketing in the world, pay for all the Google ads, whatever, have the wacky wavy inflatable flailing arm tube man that's out on the sidewalk, right? Like, but if it's difficult for them to make an appointment, they're just going to move on, right?
Yeah.
And you have what 30 seconds for them to turn from a person to a client.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the Firestone down the road is doing well because they have better technicians than you? No, they're doing well because they make it easy. They make it easy for you to get in there. They've been doing great online scheduling. The dealerships have been doing great online scheduling for years. Everyone else is doing great online scheduling, and it ties into what some of the people at this conference were talking about. Kids these days are getting less loyal to the shops that, their parents, it was like, oh, I always went to Bob's Auto. The kids these days are like, I'll go wherever I can get a first appointment that's quick and easy.
Well, the veil's kind of been lifted, right? In the last, 8 years.
Yeah.
Maybe the last 5 years. Like some of those older shops, like they kind of the magnifying glasses come out, and if you don't have these new technologies, these new systems, people get bored with you. If you don't know how to do follow up, if you're not forefront and pushing it in people's face, people get distracted. Like, I'm going to give this other shop a try. And they walk in and it's like, wow, this is pretty nice. Oh, I got coffee, you got cake. Oh, and someone's smiling at the counter. Oh, and I can just schedule my appointment, not have to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
and
I don't feel like I'm going to get a disease in the shop. I feel like I can stay healthy.
Hopefully that's been a lot longer than that, since that's been the stigma.
I've walked into some shops with some mold that scares me.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the shops especially, out of the 1,000 shops we work with, they're all beautiful shops. So.
Yeah, but like you said, it's not sure, fixing the car quickly, efficiently, and on time, and making sure you fix it right the first time, that's important. But is that the forefront of auto repair?
The issue is that as training gets better and better and better, people are going to all these events. There's technical institutes which are doing a great job. It's sadly becoming less of a differentiation that you have great techs, because in every city there's shops with a lot of great techs. Mm-hmm. But once again, doing good work is still it's
obviously the
forefront.
Important. Yeah, if you're flipping burgers, you better have a burger that tastes good, right?
Yeah.
But is that the differentiating factor? Can you just say, oh, I have the best hamburger in the world? No, because that's we all taste different, right? we all eat something that we all want different things, but the main thing is that customer experience.
The customer experience
and the new generation, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the vibes, right? They're looking for the experience. Yeah. They want to know that when they go online, they see pictures of your shop, that's the picture that they're walking into, right? And most of it now is being digital. So if they use, auto ops, and they go through and then they schedule their appointment, they look at a couple of pictures of your shop on your website. When they show up, it better damn well look and you better have that service to back up that efficiency of a scheduler, right? So if it's important.
Yeah, and one thing to remember, the customer experience is huge. The customer experience starts before they get in your shop. That's really where auto ops and online scheduling comes in. But auto ops, the whole point is we just get them in the door of your shop so that you can shake their hand. You can do as much marketing as you want. You can do as the world's best online scheduling with auto ops. But if someone walks in your shop and your team is not friendly to them, that can kill it. You heard them talking earlier today, this shop who did a ton of marketing, but then you see in their reviews, they were rude. Every time I came in, they were grumpy or they were upset. You can do whatever you want. If people don't have a good time when they're in your shop, they do not want to do business with you.
Yeah, but who thinks about going to a shop as having a good time, And isn't that the differentiating factor that we're talking about? And it's so how is somebody going to have a good time getting their car fixed? We'll figure it out. And what's step one? Starting with an entry process that's fun and easy to get into, right? Yeah. And with what you have set up, you can make it that way. You can make it however you want. And my wife's she loves your product. She loves like going through and like changing it and like seeing how the different way, and you can put whatever you want. Like, do you want to come in for a good time? You can have that as a check mark, right? Like, or whatever. Like, and it's up to you to be creative enough to have that.
Auto Ops is super customizable. I took one of our scheduling tools and I sent it to all my friends, and it's basically them going through picking an activity that they want to do. So it'd be like, oh, I want to come over and play some Xbox, or I want to go out and get some drinks. So I sent it to all of them, and they would select. They were like, why are you asking for my vehicle? Why do you need to know my vehicle? But yeah, very customizable.
So you were just scheduling the time to hang out.
I was scheduling a time to hang out, and then they would like press X on it, and it would have that little pop-up box, and you try to X out, and it would say, hey, are you sure you don't want to hang out with Steven? Are you sure? Please tell me why in the comment box. Why do you not want to hang out with Steven? Very customizable.
I guess you could probably run that as like a CRM program, right? Maybe
could do a lot of things.
Whatever you want to do with it.
Whatever you want with it. That's the fun.
That's the beauty of it, right?
That's the beauty of it. Yeah, no, the beauty of it is customizing it to convert wherever. And that's I want to teach a class at some point just going over for all of these avenues of marketing. So let's pick a few. We got text and email blast from your CRM. Great. Your website. People finding you on Google. People finding you from a mailer that you send out. People finding you, remembering you from your oil change sticker. I want to go over and just talk about how do you convert the best for each of those, because you get the marketing, but then talking about the conversion of saying, okay, they get to your website. What is the best way to have your website set up to actually convert viewers into coming into your shop? What is the best exact wording to use in a text blast to make sure you are converting the most viewers of this text in? I mean, talking about how do we actually structure each of the things? How do you build out the perfect mailer so that it converts at the highest rate possible? That's the conversation I'm waiting to pick up a little bit. I'm hoping to lead the charge through some classes on this, but great, you're sending out how do we optimize each of these for conversion? I think including online scheduling is obviously a big piece in any marketing you do should include online scheduling. But then even thinking about when people are calling in my shop, and this is what the Institute and a lot of great coaches here help with, when someone calls in, how do I train my service advisor so we have the best chance of converting that call, that person engaging with my marketing? That's what a call is, someone engaging with your marketing. How do I train my service advisors to convert the best possible? If someone calls after hours and they're getting a voicemail, how can you change that issue tree to convert people as best as possible? When people call in the day and it goes into overflow, or I have a service advisor online, how do you optimize your wait message to convert people as best as possible? So that's what some of the stuff I'm excited about. Hopefully I get to teach a class on that soon. I still got to make the class though.
Yeah. You got to have material for, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. And I think a lot of it's tailoring to each individual person, right? And so, running the office or having people come in, it's all over the place, right? Some people come in, they don't want to say a word to you. Yeah. But then you text them and it's like they're lighting up, and it's like very easy to communicate with them. But they come in, the head down, they're on their phone. They're just not good with that. And you try to break the ice and try to talk to them, and they're introverts, right? They don't want that. So the one thing is like giving customers like a personality test, right? That's a big one, I think, and just learning who not just who the client is, but like who that individual person is that's clicking through, and like being able to differentiate, and those personality tests do that without asking super intrusive questions. I love Jimmy Lee's class about dope marketing, where you can be a dove, an owl, a peacock, or an eagle, right? And it really, really breaks down the 4 different types of people that are out there that go anywhere, right? The consumers, clients, customers, whatever you want to call them. And I just love how he analyzes that and helps me understand when someone comes in and picking up a few social cues and kind of categorizing them. I guess what's the other word for it that you shouldn't do? When you're putting someone in a class or in a certain classification.
Oh, it's just
what do they call
stereotyping.
Stereotyping.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to do that, right? But you have to, if you want to provide a good service, you got to know who the person is. And so Dove, you got someone who's caring, right? Kind of quiet. You got a sweet old lady, right? Just caring person. She cares that you care. You got the owl, very wise, very methodical. It's gonna overanalyze everything. Gonna Google prices, see what your part prices. You got the peacock, just loud, Jimmy Leah, that's a peacock, right? Jimmy Lee, he's a peacock. He's loud.
Peacocks.
As long as you match his level and you guys are jamming, he doesn't care what the price is or what you're doing. Like
I would love to see Jimmy Lee walking into a shop actually needing service. I wonder what that service advisor is.
It's just you just match his level, and then I mean I think he's like the stereotypical like service advisor, like so he would probably get along with any of them in the shop. Like they would just match energies, and then he would just be like, "Here's my credit card, man. Just take care of it." Like you can just see him doing that because he's the peacock, and you got the eagle, very very aggressive, not aggressive, but very stoic, and doesn't want to laugh, wants to be very to the point. Yeah, business oriented, exactly. So it's just interesting, and that's just kind of like barely scratching the surface. But I think on your point of like trying to find those in this kind of new generation of like online scheduling and not being able to answer the phone and figure out who these people are, I think asking certain questions that kind of direct them into a certain personality would better address that. Like, and that way like, should I be following up with this guy 3 times before his appointment, or are they going to be pretty on top of it and they're going to be annoyed if I text them more than once?
Yeah, all good stuff. There's so many things to think through on the marketing side. I mean, for me too, I'm sitting here being like, oh, we gotta adjust our marketing, and we've been lucky with word of mouth. People in the automotive industry have been very kind. I mean, you being one of them, but people have been good just referring shops to us, telling about their experience.
I honestly, like I was telling you earlier, I found you by looking at other shops, not in our area, just online, just shops that I meet at these events, and I know the owners, I know they're successful, or whatever their version of success is, right? Like I know they're doing well. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check out their website, see what it looks like, and then the scheduler pops up. I'm like, well, what's this? What's this? I like this. How do I get this, right? And it took me a little bit of research, but I feel like those are the best finds that you get, right? Like it's real world. Like if I was on here, I'd be pretty stoked that I could just like click through this and then it just schedules me in real time to your SMS program. I was like, well, yeah. I mean, how easier do you get? But that's my experience. That's what I would want. It's not for everybody, know?
Yeah, and there's plenty of shops that we talk to that are like, hey, I'm booked out 4 weeks. I like talking with all my customers. Maybe we do high-end work. I don't need to do a ton of car count. And I like every customer calling in and having a long conversation with them, and that's great.
That's sure. I mean that's good. That's a good for you.
Yeah, good for you, and I'm glad you run your shop that way.
I tried really hard to pivot away from that, and I think I've gone too far. Right, like I'm definitely feel like I'm at the point where I've gone just too far that way. Right,
like pushing the aggressive level.
Pushing the aggressive, and like what they say, you can slaughter a sheep once, but you can shave its fur its whole life. Right. Yeah. Mike Allen said it way better than I did. Right. But you get the point. So when your ARO gets up 1,500-1,600.
Yeah, what are you at?
1,400 ARO. Yeah. And then our HPRO is right around 5.
Whoa.
So
what's HPRO?
Hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the new one on.
That's the new term on the block.
So your HPRO should be like 2 to 3 technically. Nice. That's your benchmark. It shouldn't be any. It should be whatever you want it to be, but that's like a benchmark, right? So we have a pretty high hour.
What's yours? What's your HPRO?
Oh, we're right around 4 to 5.
Yeah.
I think the last time I checked, we were cut it down to about 4, but I'm sitting around. Yeah, it was about 4 for a long time. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just hours per ticket, and then obviously then depending on what kind of parts you're selling on it, that increases your ARO. And being a transmission specialty shop for a long time, it was kind of normal, but we've really pivoted to more general auto repair. So it's still keeping that high ARO. It's a pain point for clients. Like it hurts when people come in, and you don't want it to hurt, Yeah. But you also want to do the DVI. You want to follow the 300% rule. So it's tough. And I don't know. It's just one thing that we're working on now, because to increase our car count, we have to lower one for our HPRO, because we're just going to overwhelm our techs. So we have to get more lower hour tickets in, and then for the pain point of the clients, we got to get our ARO down a little bit too. Maybe I'm wrong, but I strive. I work.
This is where I bring Cecil in. This is where I tap out. Cecil, help me. I don't know.
I've
been learning though. I'm getting my numbers dialed.
Yeah.
I like learning the numbers.
We worked really, really hard to start and get high, right? Like
Yeah.
to shoot up.
You can always. It's easy to go lower. You can always get it lower.
Yeah. It's
But-
just our client base isn't huge.
Yeah.
And so sure, retention and CRM is great if you have a huge client base, and we don't. So we're working really hard on customer acquisition, and I think bringing on auto ops was one of those things. If we can make it easier, we're gonna increase our customer. And that's exactly what it's been. I think it's been a month, and we, like today I was just looking at my phone, 3 appointments made. I'm like,
Boom.
yeah, like that's pretty cool. And then I can see on the email like who it was, what they're coming in for, and I'm not even in the state, right? Like we're out of state, and I can still see what car it is, what it's coming in for, and then I can prep myself. I know what's coming in next week now when I get back.
And that's the one thing I do. There's there's more than one thing I like about auto ops, but one of the things
I could see that.
It's not one of those softwares where it's like, oh, it'll take 5. And once again, sometimes with marketing, I understand there's long testing periods, but auto ops is something you should see results month 1. I mean, if you don't get more bookings month 1 than you got the previous month, then you should be leaving the platform. But luckily, that is extremely rare that occurs. So,
yeah, but obviously, when it comes down to marketing, speaking of scheduling, it's all about cars. I want a better customer experience. Sure, sounds good. Hey, I want to hire ARO. Sure, that's fantastic too.
Can you bring when can you bring your car in though?
Exactly. Like
when can you bring your car?
If you're not getting more appointments to turn into money, to turn into car, what's the point of it?
People listen and. Yeah. Oh, this many viewers, this many clicks. Obviously, is that stuff good? But how many people actually showed up at my shop? How many? Yeah. What was my car?
And spent money.
And spent money.
Like showed up and spent money, because you could have the wrong clients coming in too. Oh yeah, my car count went up, but it's a bunch of people, a bunch of cars I didn't want to work on.
Yeah.
But I did it anyway because I'm slow. It's like, so you're gonna keep paying for that, to keep doing that? Like, isn't that like the definition of insanity? Like by definition, isn't
by
that?
definition.
But it's hard. It's hard to fire people, and it's hard to have a conversation and hold someone accountable, right?
Have you seen the feature in auto ops where you can block a customer by phone number?
I don't think I've had to look into that one yet.
If you have a customer you don't want to schedule, you can put their phone number. We have a section in auto ops. When they're going through the scheduling experience, if they enter that phone number that you have blocked, it'll say, oh, sorry, there's an error with our scheduling tool. Please call the shop to schedule your appointment.
Oh, nice. Just put, you got to do another one like, oh, you've been denied.
You've been denied. We don't like you.
Or just error, just an error message.
Yeah, just error 404.
Yeah. They think it's something wrong with the computer.
The old Windows error.
You can put it on the honors of the shop owner, like, oh, this guy's calling now, damn it. Luckily, we don't have that issue. I try to get in front of. When we have an issue, I just try to get in front of it. Have the conversation there. Like, look, this is what we're gonna do, and then we're done here. Like, and it's only been a few times I've had to do that, but it's like we're not on the same page. Like, we're not gonna have a relationship. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna help you out today, and then this is gonna be the end of our relationship. Do you understand that?
We're gonna be breaking up.
I want you to understand. Like,
we can hug one last time.
Yeah, that's it. Like, we'll hug in the middle of the shop. Like, that's fine. We can cuddle, but I mean,
after that,
yeah,
you're leaving.
We can still be friends. It's you, not me. You know, that whole thing. But I need my CDs back out of your car, just so you know. Like, I can't leave him. He's got all my CDs. Right? Like, so. No, it's important stuff to manage those things correctly.
Yeah.
And have the conversations up front, and hold whatever marketing or whatever product that you're using, hold them accountable. Like, how important is it for you to be held accountable for what you do?
100 people in the beginning. That's honestly why contracts kill startups. Contracts kill startups. If I said to you when we were starting out auto ops, I said, hey, you have to sign on to a 1-year contract. I would hate that, because if people didn't like auto ops in the beginning, I would have been want to be the first one to know. I want you to tell me this product sucks so that I can actually make changes, and then I'll have a product more shops want. I mean, if people didn't give me feedback early, and once again, when we first launched, it wasn't perfect. If people hadn't held me accountable, if people hadn't told me, hey, this part stinks, we wouldn't have had a good product. I mean, I don't own a shop. I had to be on with shops all the time in the beginning, hearing all their feedback. This part stinks. Change this, do this. And so, yeah, if you're not held accountable, and with contracts sometimes, people are like, oh, whatever, I already spent the money. I'm not going to say anything to them. I'm just going to leave it. It's month to month, because if you don't like it, I want to know. So
That's fair. Yeah, because at the end of the year, you'd have this mass exodus, and then
Yeah.
it would the bottom would fall out of it.
100%.
And I mean, it's hard, and that's one thing I've learned a lot, especially with marketing, because you have a lot of all-in-one marketers trying to do everything at once, and you don't know like who's doing what or what's what, and so dividing these up a little bit and learning like you should have a CRM program, you should have a website, you should have SEO. Now you're not supposed to pay for Google ads, so don't worry about Google ads anymore. But next month, maybe we'll worry about Google ads. But knowing this month-to-month stuff, and then obviously starting at the very beginning, like, an online scheduler, I didn't even know that was a thing, right? Like, that's a thing? Yeah, and it's like a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like...
we've tried to break in and say, listen, you got your shop management system, you got your website, maybe you have a CRM. Sorry, you need an online scheduling tool. I'm sorry to add another one in, but it's just you need it. It's a need.
And if you don't know, you don't know. And if you're trying to differentiate yourself from other shops in your area, and that's all it takes, a couple $100 a month. I mean,
a couple hundred, $159. It's not a couple. That's putting us at $2. $159 a month.
I was trying to raise your prices for you.
We're trying to raise our labor rate. Yeah, we got to get our labor rate up. I need to increase my labor rate. It's time. No, we've raised prices over time, but never we lock people in. So if you sign on, I mean, I still have people. Sorry to tell you, I have people who, when I like our first couple shops, they're paying a cheap price for auto ops.
Well, they gave you the feedback needed to grow to where you are now.
I mean, they used it when it was not as good of a product as it is now. I mean, we're constantly releasing features.
They stayed on board?
They've stayed on board.
Yeah.
We have shops, I think, I mean, in general, we have a very low churn rate. But yeah, some of our initial shops are still some of the best. Love them.
Yeah.
There's Larry Elders. Larry, what is his last name? Forgetting the name of his shop too, but whatever. Larry, you know who you are. He's here. He's one of our first two customers, first 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Larry from Motorsports. Sorry, Larry.
He fixes cars. He doesn't, but his shop does.
His shop fixes a lot of cars. Yeah.
That really narrows it down for everybody.
He's the guy in the room who fixes cars.
So on kind of like final notes here, talking about marketing, talking about a startup and marketing. What was your marketing tactic to get Larry on? Like, what really worked for you in the beginning, right?
To get Larry on, what worked? Honestly, one of the first things we did, and I'm sure someone in this room has received some of my Facebook messages. I hope you liked them. But we asked people in the beginning. We would send out a survey and just ask how they did online scheduling. We'd basically be like, okay, do you do any online scheduling? They would say yes. Say, okay, when people request an appointment on your website, does it look at your current availability of where you actually have your calendar? And they would say no. And I would say, do you want it to look at the current availability in your shop management system and then create the appointment in their shop management system? And they would say yes, and I would contact them. But no, honestly, I think it was a lot of organic stuff. I mean, just getting in the Facebook groups, understanding how a shop runs, and then I think it was providing actual value. I mean, I'm not joking, we've probably spent $100 on marketing so far, like paid ads. A lot of it's me going to conferences and word of mouth, me posting a little bit on Facebook. Thanks for everyone that's friends with me and engages on Facebook. But no, we haven't really done super traditional paid marketing, or we don't have I built the website myself. We don't have anyone even, I know a little bit about SEO. So it's mostly word of mouth.
That's huge. And that was important because that is kind of what the new marketing is, and I had that feeling that was what it was, because the organic stuff seems to grow these audiences so much more.
Well, yeah, and organic stuff just means you have a good product. That's what organic means, is that I have a good product and people found us organically because they were searching for it. It was a need, or someone told them, hey, this is really good, go check it out.
Yeah, and a lot of shop owners have that problem of, and I had it too, of you want to set and forget. You want to hire a marketing company, pay the money, and then bring me cars, and then set it and forget it, and let it go, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the big things of when it comes to marketing, is the power of social media, the power of just getting out and going to these events. I mean, if you're slow, just do what you did. I mean, that's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
And then get an online scheduler.
And then getting online.
With AutoOps.
With AutoOps. AutoOps.com. But no, thanks for having me on. Everyone, listen to the Gearbox. You need to save it. What platforms are you on? Can they like subscribe on all
Apple,
the platforms?
Spotify.
Apple, Spotify.
Is there other ones?
I don't know. Get subscribed though. Whatever you listen to, available on all listening systems.
I like it. And
All
click
listening
to
platforms.
automatically download the latest
Click
episode.
to automatically download the latest episode
There it
of
is.
the
That's what
Gearbox.
I'm talking about. Sounds like we're being summoned, so we better go on.
Okay, sounds good. Good talking, Jimmy.
Thanks, buddy.